All right, I want to get started. Need to find someone to fan view. Ah, there's Valerie in a dino costume. All right, I'm going to start this off. Welcome to all the people, probably 4, but Nils, you're welcome for commentating. I'll do what I can. So this is the extra special Halloween chase race. As you can see, we've got dinos in the pen. These are the D's that will start off first. They're going to have a 4-second, no, they're going to have a 4-minute head start. Thank God, 4 seconds. That would suck. And then the C's are going to start off. Once the C's start off, there's going to be 2 minutes back to the B's. And then it looks like the A's actually only start a minute after the B's, which I do not approve of. Because the A's look like they have a similar field to the B's. I never really know how many people are going to show up. So in the signups, we've got 19 D's, we've got 25 C's, we've got 35 B's, which is impressive, and we've got 13 A's. So if we do actually have those numbers, the D's are really going to have to work together to stay ahead. This is the big flat 8 course. So it's 31.5 kilometers with only 109 meters of climbing. So very flat, which means if you're in a pack, you're not going to go that much faster in each kilometer. There's no hills that are going to slow down the D's. So the A's are really going to have to push it to try to catch up. So we'll see what happens. But the D's are going to head off in 3 minutes. And they'll have 4 minutes to collect and get up the road before the C's. Started my stream way early. Looks like Valerie is all by her lonesome in the pen, which sucks in the audio channel. So she's probably in there trying to get people to join her so that they can talk about strategy. So the D's are essentially going to want to save as much energy as possible by getting those dinos all in a row. And I have it on good authority that the dinos do not have added drag, despite their costumes being nice and fluffy. And I'm curious if the dinos are different by pen, because, or else it just could be total chaos. And we'll see if we can track them if we combine once people catch. So once we start, we'll see the dinos head off. Look, they're raring to go. Nils said that these are diplodocises, which diplodocises. Wonder if plural of that is diplodoci. Diplodocis sounds special. All right, and here we go. Welcome to the Jurassic Chase. We're on the Big Flat 8 course, and we've got 31.5 kilometers to go with 109 meters of climbing. This looks like a group of 14 leaving the pen. Looks like a couple got stuck in the pen. And they do actually seem to be migrating. Look at these dinos. They're in a line migrating. That's excellent. They were passing me right there. There you go. Hi. All right, so the dinos have 4 minutes to get up the road. They're going to go through the desert first. And I think a lot of the course will depend on this, how many people they can get through this desert together. Safety in numbers. Safety from the A's in numbers. So they're going at 33 kilometers per hour. Let's hope that I bet the bees will be in the 44 kilometer per hour range. So hopefully the D's can get up to mid 30s. If they can sustain mid 30s throughout, then they have a big advantage on the C's and the D and the B's and the A's. So they're going to have 7 minutes ahead of the B's. They'll have 4 minutes ahead of the C's, and they'll have 8 minutes ahead of the A's. Oh no, one dino left behind. It's vulnerable. I love just the faces sticking out of the front of the dinos. That's excellent. Let's love the ladies. Valerie doing the good work, trying to collect people. So this is looking pretty good. This is a pretty good group. It says they started with 20, but we only got 14 in the pen here. So they've got 2 minutes out of the pen and then another 2 minutes before the C's start. So hopefully we can get up the road as much as possible before those scary C's start. So the C's, surprisingly, are not the biggest group today. Usually when we see chase race, we have a giant C group, and the C group demolishes everyone because they just have that pack speed. But today, it looks like there's only 25 in the pen for the C's, and there's 35 in the pen for the B's. So if I was a betting woman, which I'm not because I'm horrible at it, but if I was, I would bet on the B's, because if they're smart and they're coordinated, they'll take little digs at the front, just like a TTT, and they'll keep pushing that pace at the front. Although 38 kilometers per hour is pretty great for a D pace. So if they can maintain that without dropping, they might be able to stay ahead. It's very exciting. I'm really hoping that the other dinosaurs are different colors. So let's go see. Oh no. Oh, here go the C's. But they are the same color. This is gonna be hard. This is gonna be chaos when they collect. So when these C's catch the D's, it's just gonna be green dino, green dino, green dino. And I'm not sure how I'm going to tell the difference. At least in my handy dandy sauce update, we've got the different colors. So you see at the top, the yellow is the D's, and then the blue is the C's. So let's hope that that helps, because holy moly, dinos on the roll. So we got 18 in this group. 18 of 25, not so bad. If they can stay together, we've already got 5 off the back, so that's going to be tough. Come on, guys. Get up there. All right. Harvey's going to catch. Mushman. Murgatroyd. That is an excellent evildoer name. They really got to catch those dinos, though. Go, go, go. Come on, dinos. The pedaling is just so good. All right. Here goes this big group. They are nice and collected. They've got 19. You can see the D's still have 14 in that group. That's great. Although it looks like the C's have already made up 30 seconds on that group, and they're going way faster. So the C's are going 44 kilometers an hour. That is enough to close over the race. The race is 31.5 kilometers. And if they're going 8 or 9 kilometers an hour faster, and it takes them a minute and a half to do each kilometer, yeah. So then they 40 minutes. So they should catch them by the end if they maintain this gap. And we've got our B's starting off any minute now. Oh, here they go. All right, so 45 in the pen. We had 33 start, but 33 is quite a bit larger than 23 or 14. So let's see. I don't know if they can go that much faster than the C's, though, because the C's were killing it. Come on, Ari. So if I'm just going to brag about my own teammates for a little bit, Ari is one of these women who is incredible. She does long form, unsupported races across countries in like a weekend. That's her fun day. My fun day is not that. It involves many more cookies and much less biking. But she's already off the back, so she may have already done one today, or something happened at the start, so she's off the back, which is unfortunate because she's a super impressive rider. Looks like the A's are already out of the pen, and the A's have just 9. That's tough. And they're only at 42 kilometers an hour. That is going to be a hard catch. But we'll never know because they're all green dinos. This is, if only you could specify which dino you wanted. Like, oh, I'd like the B's to be raptors. And then they'd all look different. But right now we're in with the B's, according to my handy dandy sauce update. And they're going 44 kilometers an hour. The C's are going 42 kilometers an hour. And let's go see if we can find a D. This is a little nice gruppetto. Again, a nice little gruppetto. And Valerie. Oh no. So it looks like the D's are losing people. So they're down to 11. They are maintaining a great pace. 40 kilometers an hour is awesome. However, they're down to 10 riders. And this is quite a long way to go with 11 riders. So hopefully they can collect and support each other, stay in a group, strengthen numbers. Dinosaurs alone are vulnerable. So you can see back to the first C. That's 3 minutes. So in 5 kilometers, they've made up 1 minute. So they're definitely going to catch them if it continues this way. And the C's look like they have not dropped anyone, which is great. So again, strength in numbers, but that pack speed is really going to help them throughout this course. And it looks like the B's are not gaining any ground, however. So it's 2 minutes and 48 seconds up to that C group. They started off 3 minutes behind. So they've only made up 13 seconds. Come on, bees. You got to work like beasts. Maybe I'll give them power up ride-ons, and then that'll help them. Let's see. Ooh, and they're actually eeks. They're making up time on the A's. Oh no, they're not. It's only 44 seconds. Ha! I don't know why it says 105 over here. 44 over here. I'm gonna go with this gap. So they're gonna spend quite a while going through. Like 10 minutes of the course is gonna be on the desert, and then we'll see what type of spiciness comes as you exit. Because every time you hit an incline, that's where the C's and the B's and the A's will really start to close those gaps. There's Charlotte. I love to see that there's women in here too, because it's a tough thing to do the chase as a woman and be up against the heavy hitter, high watt riders. So applause for the women doing it. Let's go see, checking in our C's. So they're picking up D's already. And hopefully the D's try to attach to the back just for a little bit, just so they can get pulled along a little bit so they're not out there for a long time by themselves. Because once you get drop off the back, that's tough. All right, so this is the main group of C's. And here is Valerie, back of the D's, and looks like the D's made it all the way through the desert with the C's only making up a minute. They look pretty steady. Ooh, Gixer's on the edge, unless he's a baby. Ooh, I spoke too soon. Selkirk's on the limit. Sarah's looking comfortable. She's at race pace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Give everybody a... Keep calling them power-ups. They're not power-ups. They're ride-ons. Spiritual power-up, maybe? Boost your spirits by getting a ride-on? So the D's are about to exit the desert. And they're just about a third of the way through the course. So, third of the way through the course and over 2 minutes back. This is the first kind of point of interest on the course where they're going up Saddle Springs. It's not steep and it's not long, but if the D's push too hard, they could potentially drop some of their riders. And they really want to protect those that are in the group still, because, or else they'll be riding on their own. So it looks like the front's doing a good job not pushing it too much higher than the limit. I think they're using traditional categories here. So the upper limit for entering this would be 2.5 watts per kilo for 20 minutes. So, or thereabouts. This is great. They're not losing anyone here. This is good work. All right. So here we're in with the C's. They are coming to the edge of the desert as well. And they are maintaining some good speed. So it's not apples to apples to compare the speed of the C's right now to the speed of the D's, because the D's are going up that Saddle Springs and the C's are still in the desert, still just churning along. But they also haven't lost anyone, and keeping everyone together when they have twice the numbers of the C's is really going to help them in the back half of the course. So they're doing great. They're working together. Hopefully we see some rotation at the front so that one rider is not taking on too much unless they are extremely strong. Going back to the B's now. This group, oh, they have shed a lot of people actually. So they're down to 25 in this group, which is not much more than the C's at this point. So I'm sure they're trying to make up that gap, but 25, they really want to start protecting their riders now if they want to catch. So they are hitting some C's at this point, and we'll see the dinos eating the other dinos, but it doesn't matter because they're all dinos. Maybe that's the lesson. They're all together. Oh no! One dino just disappeared, but you couldn't tell because they all look the same. All right, here they come up on another one. Let's see if it gets absorbed. There's no way to tell the difference. Charlotte is doing a good job not staying on the front. Good job drafting. All right, here they come. Right. So they The C's are now on Saddle Springs. So you see they're going a little slower. So again, not apples to apples, but let's go back and see. I don't know if this is a C or a B. I know she's a B. There's Joe Grogan, excellent cross racer. Well, here's Nils. All right, let's see. I think they might be coming into the B's at this point. So the A's are pushing hard to be able to close that minute in the desert. And it's about to make a difference because now they have tons of people to just draft off of throughout the rest of the course. So this will make it easier for them. They crushed it, except for left a lot of destruction in their wake. Go Joe, go Joe! And Allie is back behind. I think this is her first time doing a chase, so she's probably very confused why everyone looks exactly the same as well. Go Allie! It's usually more fun than this because you can tell who's different. All right, so this is the A group. I think this is the first A. Can't tell. Right. No, I think this is the first A. All right. I'm going to have to look it up. All right. Olson is a B. Or no, it's private. How dare you? But I believe this is the front of our A group. This is absolute chaos. Oh, someone's attacking. Well, they're attacking their own group, so that's not awesome. Maybe they don't know if who's in the group. Surprise, because no one can tell because they're all dinos. Also, the lights kind of look like buttholes. Not sure if anyone else is feeling that way, but when you see them ahead and it's just all the lights shining from their buttholes. Can't unsee it now. There goes Parno. So this we know, I'm pretty sure this guy's an A. He's coming into the B group. So we can track him by the bodies in his wake. Also, he's on a TT bike. Maybe he changed in the pen. But if not, he has no draft, I believe. So it's got to be the funniest looking dino out there. All right, so let's go up and see all the different positionings. Oh God, the lightning just going off. This is ridiculous and hilarious. And I can't wait to hear if anyone knew who was in each group because can't see it. Don't know. And I also don't know why this says Italian villas. I guess the turn to Italian villas, but that's not helpful. All right. So now we're about halfway through the course, and we're all mixed up here. We still got the C's ahead. So the B's have been caught by the A's, pretty much. And then we've got still a group of C's ahead. I'm pretty sure they're going to get caught, but they're almost halfway. So maybe if the C's break off, if I was the C group, I would say right now, protect those riders who are strongest for a little bit of time and let them recover to below race pace, and then send them out and say, I release you, be free. Oh, there goes Parnell. All right, well, I think they just blasted all the way through that group. Sweeney doesn't know what's coming for him. Run! The dinos are coming! So they are shedding a few people. They're down to 16 in the C group. But they're getting close to the D's. So they got picked up. Oh no, they didn't pick him up. They picked him up for a tiny bit of time. Then he got dropped. So there's still a minute to go to the front, but that's gonna close because the D's are down to 7 in the front group. Oh, that was tough. I feel like maybe they need to make the D group a little bigger. Maybe that's the solution. Oh, that's terrifying. You're being eaten by the dino. Let's go back. There's this C group. C group's rolling along pretty well. Still think it likely they're going to get overrun. But if they catch up to the D's and the D's attach to their group and add to their pack speed, they've got a shot. I think the C's are used to winning because they're used to having the biggest group. And they usually get a pretty big advantage. So they have caught up, pretty much caught up to the D's. So they made up 4 minutes worth of a handicap. And then, but the B's now have the A's with them, and they picked up all the C's. So they've had that to draft through. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the B. I'm gonna go with the A's winning just because the A's were able to close in the desert. And so that's likely enough. And they are maintaining a really good pace for C's too, because upper limit of C's is supposed to be 3.2 watts per kilo, although there's a wattage floor, so. All right, so we're well over, well, over halfway. And at 2 watts per kilo, this course should take around 55 minutes. At 4 watts a kilo, it'll take 42 minutes. And I think the A's are rolling at faster than that speed. So 3 watts per kilo looks like 46 minutes is the expectation. So they're gonna go through the volcano, not up it, and then they're gonna go up the dirty suppressa. So if the A's don't catch them by then, I think they're going to catch them there. I am impressed that they haven't lost anybody else here, so they're working well together. They still got 16 seconds. They're not really making up that much time on the D's, but they're not losing time. Let's work our way from the back and see if we can find people in the back. Right. So these are some D riders. There's the A rider. What is he? He's insane. So 42 minutes at 4 watts per kilo, but Parnot is averaging 4.5 watts per kilo. So, I mean, he's going to finish in under 40 at this rate. He still looks ridiculous on the TT bike, but it's working for him. Something about that whoosh whoosh sock. So he is an A, even though I couldn't see him because he was private. 48 goes, man. All right. So now we're back in the B's. The B's have splintered a lot and they're down to 13. I'm not sure. This is not the front of the B's technically. So that would be, let's see. So the B would be Will. That would be the front of the B group. So this is the front of the B group. Not quite staying with JP, so Parnot looks like he's going to take it, and he's still averaging over 4 point. No, they say it's down to 4.3, but still. Insane in the membrane. They're not going to make it up. So they're definitely, this is Matthew is a A and Will is a B. So they're not gonna catch Parnot, but this will definitely be your winner of the B group. And they have just over 10 kilometers to go, so 31.5 total. They have 12 kilometers left. So 12 kilometers at 40 kilometers per hour would be 18 minutes. And they're rolling faster than that. So let's say 15 minutes. Let's go back and see. I think this is, I love how you could see the jerseys for a second underneath. So everybody in this race is supposed to have assigned jerseys, which I think is awesome because you get to put on the Elite Canyon jersey and pretend for a minute. But this is just pretending on top of pretending. So when you see the inside of the dyno and you see the assigned jersey, it's amazing. All right, so this is a mixed group of B's and A's in here. And for instance, Charlotte is an A woman, but I think she's mixed B or C because of the wattage floor. So this group is rolling really well. I mean, they're not going to maintain 53 kilometers per hour, but they are right now going. Proof. So this is the second group of B's. So in that first group of B's, you have Olson, see if we have any women in here. Nope, not a lady. Can't tell if a lady, but likely not. Also not a lady. There's Sarah. Sarah's amazing. All right, so they're about to hit this, these guys are about to hit the dirty suppressa. Gotta wait for my Michelle's all alone. No. Is she in the front of the sea? I mean, she very well could be, but I don't think so. No, we got this is insane. I do love a chase. I think that the chase is my favorite format because you get to see everybody in there and you get to see how hard people work. And I'm always impressed with that. And it really benefits you if you work together. Parnot is about to catch the main group of C's. And the C's have caught all the D's. This is the very front of the race. And we've got one D in here. Mostly C's. So this is the front group of C's, and there are so terrifying to see the A coming in behind with the dino. Watch this. Keller, get out of the way. Jump, 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 jump. This is such an I wonder if anyone's going to try to stay with him. So if anybody has gas, they're going to want to try to stick on to Parnot for just a little bit, clinching possibly the second place for the C's if they can just hold on. So at least on the flats, if they can just go with him for 4 minutes, if they can, see, look at them, forming a line. Nice work, nice work. If they can do it, they don't have to beat him. They just have to stick on him for as long as possible. They've got 7 kilometers to go. 8 kilometers. 8 kilometers to go. It's an extra kilometer. Don't know if they can do it. So that would be 12 minutes at 40 kilometers per hour. Come on, guys. Is it telling me they're... Ugh. Just destruction. All right. So it looks like the B's have rolled through almost all of the D's. They still got 3 ahead, it looks like. They got to work a little hard. They got to go a little faster if they want to catch those C's. Eight kilometers is not a ton of time. And it looks like They lost him. Parno's away. Solo. Now all he has to do is skate along. So he broke that. Broke that group off. So now they don't benefit from the draft, and unless they pick something up that is a rocket booster, I think this is the winner. Here's your winner. You can see him from all angles. Da-da-da. There he is. So arrow. Wonderful dino pick. All right. Maybe I'll give him one. Oh, I already gave him one. But we've got Springer up here. If he's breaking away from the group, it looks like trying to stay ahead. Level 100. Woof. And he gave up. All right. So this is the main group of C's, and they still have 14 people. I mean, 30 seconds back to the first B's. The B's are going a lot faster, and that's just a group of 2 though. So 6 kilometers. All right, I'm gonna bet on Will. I mean, Parnell wins it, obviously, but just feels wrong to root for the guy that's already 20 seconds ahead. So I'm gonna root for Will. I am impressed with how many C's stayed in a group until now. And I don't know whether they are chatting to each other or if they're used to group riding and rotating, or if they have just a couple really strong riders at the front and everyone's just hanging on. But closing 25 seconds and 5 kilometers is definitely doable. Let's go see his heart rate. That's what I want to do. $162. All right. How old is he? In his 40s. FTP of 320. Holy smokes. Okay. A B in name. Come on, Will. All he has to do is not lose Matt's wheel. So Matthew is an A. A very interesting avatar looking A. Also 40s. Similar FTP. So 320, 307. Oh, he's a little heavy. Will's a little heavier. So FTP watt per kilo is less. But come on, get up the hill with him. This is one of those places that they can make up a lot of time. And they are. So they're down to 12 seconds to the C's. They're going to catch them. Oh, there they are. And they're going to turn back towards the desert. And so there's another slight incline across this bridge that is always sneaky. It's one of those, oh, Will, don't lose his wheel. Come on. Will! Go! Come on, buddy. He knows we're watching. He's a little shy. Come on, Will. He's nowhere near his FTP. Oh, come on. This hill is a little sneaky because it's 1 to 2%, maybe it hits 3% for 50 meters or so, maybe 100 meters, but it's really not very steep. So you don't think of it as a hill, but when you're tired, come on, Will. All right, so there looks like a C has jumped off the front. So Will's really got to push it here because they're gonna find the afterburners if he doesn't. So 11 seconds. Yeah, come on, Will. 15 seconds back to Will at this point. I think uh, all in a line. But if he can find it and he can close it, this is his best opportunity to close because it's the biggest hill that he's gonna have. So I think when he lost Matt's wheel, he gave up a little. Will, I was rooting for you. Now I don't think he's gonna make it. 3 kilometers. He had closed it to 13 seconds, and I thought, whoa, that's it. He's got it. But then no. So there's a big long line. Everybody is really closing. This is much closer than I thought. So these are all B's. And they're down to their last 3.5 kilometers. What's that? Once they get over this bridge, their grade is going to come down. And then there's one final tiny 1-2% after the pens, but then it is flat and straight. So B's are not going to catch C's. I was wrong about that. I was wrong about everything. Here's Parnot. He's now 50 seconds ahead of the next A. Holy crap. How do we stop these A's? I think we need, and this A is not on a TT bike. So I already gave him a thumbs up, but I feel like being on a TT bike and not getting draft is, I don't know, against the spirit of it. I don't know. Maybe he changed in the pen and he's not on a TT bike, but it makes you faster, but I don't love it. But he did a great job. And I had said 42 minutes was 4 watts per kilo for this course. So he's going to finish under that. So he averaged over 4 for the entire course. Although technically that estimate has to do more with the riding in a group and not on a TT bike. All right, so here's your winner. He is probably going to come in 41.20. Here's second place. Here's this group of C's that is still 10 strong. So despite that push trying to stay with the A's, they still have 10 of their group. That is really awesome. And let's find the top C. Nope, B, top C. So Will died. He's dead. So he made up so much time, and he actually fell back quite a bit. But he was pushing super hard, obviously. Right, so here's your front B group. And then let's go back and see if we can find the first D. The C's are finishing. Look at that attack. 600 watts a kilo. I mean, 600 watts. 600 watts. All right. A's are all strung out. All right, so I think this Mondin is going to be your first D. Let's go see if we can find Mondin. Here's Nils. There's our sprinter. Like we got one. We'll do one. All right. I think this is our top D. Oh, 8 watts a kilo. Now that's impressive for a D. That's great. Short power. And he's with a group of A's here. So he's really holding on, working hard. I guess there's a B in here too. So a couple A's, a B, and a D. He's fighting the good fight. That's awesome. Just trying to stay on his wheel. All right. Oh, here's Charlotte. Almost done. So I am going to go ask people how they liked this race because that was confusing. And I wonder if they can see on their own screens some differentiation of what each group was. Because if I didn't have sauce open, I don't know that I would have known. If you were in the front of your group, then you would have known when you were passing people that you were passing someone from a different group. So I guess that would be easy. But if you weren't in the front and you didn't see, then how would you know? On the other hand, the flashing light buttholes was impressive, and I it's something new every day. Go Sarah, almost done. It's a long chase too, so when you're clicking on people, you can see the total time in the race. So Casper has been going for 47 minutes, for instance. So in that way, you could see if you clicked on them and you saw their total race time, I guess you could see that they were a different category if they had a different time. Anyway, maybe